Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're looking at the Gameweek 16 review and Game17 preview as per usual. And yeah, the team did pretty well, as we can see from the board. Vardy, I got the captaincy right. I was buzzing about that. I got 13 points, 2 goals, 3 bonus points, 26 points in total. Was perfect. Son came in as well with 12 points. Really good result. Glad I stuck with him, despite Ali's incredible form in the past couple of games, and Son was a bit minimised, but he really showed his true quality in the game against Burnley. Aurea returned a clean sheet as well, so Spurs looking on the way up at the moment. Very happy with their assets, and as a Spurs fan, I'm loving life at the moment. Maddison chipped in with 9 points, 2 assists. He looks pivotal to everything that goes through him up to Vardy. I was chatting with a guy on Twitter who was saying that he didn't want to own Maddison because he's not a explosive asset, despite the fact if you're watching the games he's basically playing as a centre forward right behind Vardy, so I'm chuffed that I have him. I was right about Mane. Said he was going to get benched. I still played him just in case, but he got benched to get any minutes, so Muse came in for an extra 2 points, but he did pick up an injury, so one to monitor. Abraham, he was getting into good positions, but it was a poor Chelsea performance in general against Everton. So, you know, Everton, Duncan Ferguson, new manager bounce. If it was going to happen, it was going to happen in that game. Just a big performance. So, I think it's a minor blip. You know, they got Bournemouth at home next week. So, like with Pulisic again, he was really good. And since I've got him in, he's blanked, but he's been looking dangerous. The quality has dipped off, in my opinion, of his shots, for example. But I think I've got to give them at least a Bournemouth game, because Bournemouth are in torrid form. So you would think that he would get some points there. De Bruyne, only the 1 point in a game where Manchester United looked brilliant. De Bruyne, again, he is quality. He is a quality player, but it's the question of, is he a good FPL asset at the moment? Started the season off really well, but recently he's just becoming a bit the assist. Obviously, he got those 2 goal returns in successive weeks, but he can't hit absolute worldies every week. It just doesn't happen. So it's someone else I have to consider. So Soyuncu and Lundstrom both got 2 points, but both could have had attacking returns. Soyuncu was saved by Tom Heaton's face from about 2 yards out, and Lundstrom had a goal disallowed for offside. So yes, they didn't return any points, but you got to stick with them. Nick Pope, 0 points. He was playing Tottenham. I wasn't expecting him to return any points. So, you know, Burnley not in great form at the moment, but I have to remember, you know, until they hit this hard run of fixtures, despite the Palace game, they did have those 2 clean sheets in 2 games. So they're going to get some nicer fixtures now. So I think I've got to hold on with him. The value in keepers isn't mental, so I might as well just keep him. So we got 64 points, which is 10 points above the average. I did have a bigger green arrow, but because of the Mane captain who's had Vardy's vice captain, that increased their points potential. And obviously my rank was slightly more less good. I think it was around 700k before the Monday game, where Aubameyang went mental, and still is a green arrow. Green arrow's going about 50k up, so looking good, much better with the team. So let's have a look at my transfer thoughts. What I'm thinking, obviously, Christmas period is a busy period now, so let's just see what I'm thinking. So I put up this graphic now, and as you can see, there's 2 halves to it. The left-hand side is players that I'm really thinking about moving on potentially. I'm going to start with Joel Wall because it's an easy one. He's injured, not expected back till January. Palace returning lots of clean sheets at the moment, despite the many defensive frailties that they have, and hence why Vicente Gaeta on the right is in the frame. You know, if I made the switch from Pope to him about 3 weeks ago, I would have had a lot more points than what I've had. It's a shame because I don't always see the value of goalkeepers, but Gaeta, he gets save points, he gets bonus points, and he gets clean sheets. So he is unstoppable at the moment. And yeah, it's whether I move out Pope or not is the question. I feel like I'm going to give Pope probably about 3 more games because I've got other fires to put out in the team. The goalkeeper's always the last thing. If you have a luxury transfer, then you can move them on. And I want to see, because if Palace could get some of them or their defensive assets back, you know, Schlupp picked up an injury, so I might have to monitor that. Then they could be, again, back in the clean sheets. See, Brighton at home this week will be a bit more difficult. Brighton a bit more of an expansive team that plays a better attacking football than Watford, for example. So I think I'll stick with Pope. Newcastle at home and see what happens. Pulisic, he's really just not performed for me since I've got him in. You know, he returned 5 goals in 3 games, and I thought, you know, he's getting lots of shots off, getting right up in that 18-yard box, but he has not delivered. And same with De Bruyne, which I've just already spoken about. It's just his value, 10 million for a player who's not returning often enough. It's worrying. It's a bit like Sterling, I'm glad I moved on Sterling because he was not worth the money, but De Bruyne is starting to feel like that. Arsenal away, though, I've got to give him that game because Arsenal defence is shocking. And hence Marcus Rashford comes into the picture. He's really picking up form at the moment. And I've got 1 free transfer at the moment. If I save it, get 2, then I could do a double thing of maybe removing Pulisic, getting some bench fodder, and then putting Marcus Rashford instead of Mousse. But the problem I find with United, they're unreliable. The games they turn up against the big teams. Rashford is brilliant against the big teams. And B, it's the style of football that they play. When they're playing the big teams are, more open because they're better at attacking and going forward. But when, say, United play the likes of defensively, astute teams, the counter-attack, which is their main weapon, they can't use it because the team's set up solidly at the back. They won't send people flying forward. It will be, a line of 4, a bank of 4, whatever that may be. And that's where United have struggled. So I feel like the United's next game, they've got Everton at home. Everton obviously are, revitalised under Ferguson. He's a Everton former player, so he's got them up and running again. So I want to see how they perform in that because, again, Everton defensively weren't that good, but they might change their focus that they did against Chelsea to become a bit more defensively sound. So it's a really tricky one. I'm not sure what I'm going to do, but I feel like I'm going to just get myself 2 free transfers to have a little think about. Obviously, because Leicester playing City as well, so there's a lot of things that happen in game week 18. So those are the transfer thoughts. But let's have a look at the team and how it looks for next game week. So it's exactly the same team, no changes there. Obviously Nick Pope is last chance saloon for him. Newcastle at home is a great fixture on paper. But Newcastle will be pretty decent form. They're now up to the top half of the table, so I'm not really confident, but we'll see what happens. Aurier, Wolves away, and Sun, Wolves away. Wolves, again, they're a solid side, but they are conceding goals at the moment. And the Europa League again this week. Maybe they're going to be rotating a little bit. We don't know. But I feel like Aurier could have some fun getting forward, and Sun as well. Sionchu, Maddison, Vardy, great fixture in Norwich at home, and hence the captaincy is on Vardy. Now I could expect a clean sheet there and expect some goals as well. In what looks a great fixture on paper. Lundstrom against Villa at home. I don't think they'll keep clean sheet because Villa do tend to score in their games, but hopefully get some attacking returns in it. The Villa defence is not solid at all. Conceded 4 to Leicester. Pulisic to Abraham, got Bournemouth at home. I think Pulisic's last chance to play Tottenham away next week. So I feel like, or the week after, sorry. So I feel like this is the last chance for Pulisic to really prove himself. Otherwise, if Rashford does deliver against Everton, then I will have to get him in. I have to get him in. De Bruyne, Arsenal away. Again, Arsenal's defence is poor. That he should be delivering against them. City need to bounce back. They haven't been in the City's way that we've seen in the past 2 seasons. So there's some cracks, but hopefully De Bruyne can mend them, get some points on the board. Mane be rested on the weekend. I imagine he'll probably play Champions League, but Watford at home. Liverpool love to play Watford. They've got the new manager now, Nigel Pearson, so we'll have to see what happens there. And it's Vardy and Mane, the captaincy could go in between them all this week. So I will obviously make the final decision on Twitter, as you guys know. The bench is frustratingly injured again, a lot of it. Ward's obviously out. Target and Mousse both had knocks. And I'm hoping they're going to be okay because especially in this Christmas period, you don't know who's going to get rested. It's frustrating. I've been trying to build my squad depth this past couple of weeks, so every single player I seem to get in that goes on the bench gets injured. So it's a bit frustrating. But yeah, that's the team. I hope you enjoyed. And I will post the final team on my Twitter, Captain FPL1. And I'll catch you in the next video.